Reporting live, the breaking news is that ShotCity has a new gun. Welcome to ShotCity, baby! Alright guys, ShotCity here. I've got a tabletop review for you of the M&P 9C 2.0. Alright, let's get into it. So this is the box. The box has a little hole if you want to put like a padlock on it or something. Alright, so you get your normal stuff, your gun lock, manual, registration card. This gun comes with two 15-round magazines. You've got your little counters on the side, and those go by twos. It's not every round like on Glocks, which, I mean, I don't mind that. And they have gray followers, which is, it's kind of nice. You can actually keep track of that round count. You get a chamber flag, which is basically garbage because you don't really use those too much. This gun actually came with 3 magazines. Most of them only come with 2. This one is a special edition, and it also came with Smith Wesson night sights on it, and these are steel night sights, and they're actually pretty good, so no complaints there. This is the 2.0 version. So with the 2.0, you get the textured backstrap and grip, and you actually get 4 of these backstraps in different sizes, so that's kind of nice. And the texture, everybody says is really aggressive. I don't think it's aggressive at all, really. I mean, I think it's a perfect texture. It kind of feels like Talon grips, like the sandpaper grips, which I really like. This gun has an improved trigger on it, and then of course you've got that kind of like shark scale or gill serrations on the slide, and you've also got some front cocking serrations. If, you know, you want to do your press checks or whatever, you can check that out. I'm not a press check guy, so it doesn't really matter to me, but they are nice to have there. Kind of gives the gun a different look. You've got a full rail on this gun for any accessories you would want to mount. You have a magazine release, and it's very positive, so those magazines pop right out. You've got a ambidextrous slide release, slide catch, so that's nice. Then takedown of the gun is very simple. All you gotta do, lock the gun back, pull the takedown lever, release it, and I pull the trigger, but I don't know if you have to do that. It's just something I've been doing. So you've got your guide rod here, which is metal and spring. And actually, let me move this box out the way real quick while I show you guys this stuff. It might be kind of hard to see on camera with the box in the way. Move this little foam piece up. I know my camera acts a little funny. So you've got this metal guide rod, and it's got some blue on it. I guess that's just factory markings. Then you've got your barrel, and I put some rounds through this already, as you guys seen in my other video on this gun and on my 5 polymer guns everyone should own, or 9mm guns everyone should own. So that's the barrel and the slide, and then you've got your frame. Pretty much normal stuff that you see on any polymer gun these days. And of course, they're very easy to put back together. And I'm sure that's why everybody likes these types of guns. And then to put it back together, just lock that slide back in, pull that lever up, close it down, and you're good. You're all back together. So currently I probably have about, let's say I only have about maybe 50, 60 rounds through this gun. Haven't had any issues with it. I want to take it out, put another 500 through it in just one range sitting. But also I'll show you guys the trigger, because that's kind of the whole rant and rave about this gun. So this is the trigger. You've got your take up. You hit a nice wall. Then you break. And then your reset. Hope you guys can see this. Right there is your reset. And then you're back at the wall. Boom. Let's do that one more time. Reset. Right there. A little tiny bit of take up. That might just be my finger. Boom. Wall. So the full pull. Got your take up to the wall. Your wall. Tiny bit of creep. And then it breaks. So I'm very happy with this gun. I think it was a great purchase. I love the size of it. I'm actually going to cut the camera off and give you some guns to compare it to in size. Alright guys, so I've got some guns out for comparison purposes with the Smith Wesson M&P 9C 2.0. So the first one is going to be the Glock 19 Generation 5. And all these guns are clear. So let's do a quick comparison. These guns, let's look at the length of them. They are pretty much the same length. The M&P looks a little bit wider than the Glock, and I'll show you that real quick. So here we have the length of the M&P, and we're going to put the Glock in there, and I'm measuring the backs of the guns, and you'll see how much space we have left there. And can you see that? Alright, and I also have the Cz P10 C out, so I'm just going to go ahead and measure that as well before we do any other comparisons. You'll see it's still thicker than the Cz as well. Get a little bit more on the back of that side, and it is also thicker than the Cz P10 C. Alright, so with the Cz P10 C, well, let's finish the comparison with the Glock first. So the Glock is just a little bit shorter height-wise. So, I mean, that's not going to make a huge difference in concealability unless you're a really small person. As far as features, both have ambi slide catch and releases. Both have magazine releases that can be switched over. Both have great grip texture. I would take the Smith & Wesson grip texture over the Glock. Smith & Wesson has front serrations. They both have rails for any accessories you'll need. The Smith & Wesson has a Picatinny rail. The Glock has a Glock rail on it. The Glock doesn't come with night sights, but neither does a normal Smith & Wesson 9C 2.0. So that's my comparison with the Glock. The Glock has a nice trigger. The Smith & Wesson has a nice trigger. So I'll move the Glock off to the side, and we'll get into comparison with the Cz P10 C, and you can see that the P10 C is definitely longer. It has really good front serrations on it. This did come with night sights. Again, that's not really a standard feature for most of these guns. It is completely ambi with the slide release and magazine release on both sides. The trigger on this gun is phenomenal. So here's your take up, your wall, your brake, and here's your reset right there. And brake again. I'm going to show you that one more time. Your reset right there. Then your full pull. Hit that wall way back there. And then brake and one more reset right there. So it's going to be hard to beat this trigger on the P10 C. Now let's see height wise. They look about even to me height wise. I think the P10 C might be a little bit taller. But other than that, I like the P10 C's grip texture up here for really digging your thumb in on your hold. You can also get a pretty good hold on the Smith & Wesson. It just doesn't have any texturing up there, which is kind of like a trademark of CZ's anyway. So overall, I think that all these are great guns. Some more concealable than others, but I really think that you wouldn't have an issue concealing this any more than you would a Glock 19. And I really like the trigger. In my shooting review, I said that it was probably a little bit smoother than the Glock 19, and I stand by that. So if you guys have any questions about this gun, let me know. I'm going to be shooting this some more. I want to put another 500 rounds through it, like I said, and just keep shooting it. It's a nice gun, and I'm happy with the purchase. Alright guys, ShotCity, I'm out.